time to flip the page and prove them wrong. It's time for rebirth. Yeah, time's up to say goodbye to all the haters, doubters, and non-believers trying to bring you down. In the blink of an eye, you'll realize that there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. Finally, you will feel free to live a life you love living instead of the life you think other people want you to live. Remember, you are the highest authority when it comes to knowing what you want and what you love. So stop trading yourself for the approval from others. Ladies and gentlemen, weirdos and geeks, please repeat after me. I don't give a fuck.
Oh no, we're in the TikTok tights. Oh, let me get out of the way. Oh, Papa Squirrel's in TikTok tights. Jimmy's in TikTok tights. And I am in TikTok tights. All right.
They are tight.
They are tight. So, ahoy, everybody, and welcome to Nerd Talk with Groovy and Friends. We're going to say, I'm actually going to let Jimmy stay in charge of this because here's what's going to happen before we even get started. I have a promise I have to do. I did my retirement lunch today, so it is time for me to live up to my obligation. It is time for me to go and shave. So I'm going to open up my own on my phone. Open.
Sesame.
All right. So, Jimmy, you can go ahead and tell people hi and stuff like that.
All right. We did get to go meet Miss Eileen from Heartside today. Very, very wonderful lady. Very good to meet you. That was a nice little trip. After Groovy's retirement lunch we went to.
It's nice to see people that you can put a face to.
Oh, yeah. Mike Carrier is in the house. How you doing, Mike? We got Cindy. Of course, Cindy's here. How you doing, sis? We love us some Cindy. McNeil Entertainment's in the house. Lori loves Montana. Oh, let's see. The Horrible Three are here. What? The Horrible Three? Come on now. I thought we did pretty good last night. We actually did shut it down just in time.
We had a good time.
We're a little tired today. Just a little tired. Carly's here. How you doing, Carly? Good to see you. We did promise TikTok tats. I did say that I was going to shave, but I'm not comfortable with doing it. So I do apologize. I will not be shaving my beard off tonight. I hope y'all understand.
Yeah. Oh,
There
pop
it
it
is.
up.
There it is. Yep.
All right. So here we go.
Yeah. He's heading upstairs. And I meant me, Cindy, and Mike are the Horrible Three. Oh, I see.
Hold on. I'm almost there, guys.
It looks dark.
There we go.
It was a nice, cool 102, 103 degrees today, too.
Ooh-wee,
So,
it was hot.
yeah. All right, man. You sure that's the right one? I mean, we don't want any bumps. Oh, man. There it goes. I thought the blue one was this ball trimmer.
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
He
Mustache
always shuts the
Sean.
door.
The 1 year beard growth starts today.
I expect it to. I think his will be longer than mine in like 3 months.
All right, I'll see y'all back down there.
All right. Oh, the porn stash is gone. Yes,
Oh no.
that's right. Pop Squirrel's still rocking his porn stash, though. He's got the old Texas Longhorn, if you know what I mean.
The handlebars.
He is the handlebars. Oh, Travis is coming down the steps. Look at him. He's all spry looking now.
Oh, my lip is cold.
I bet.
Don't look. Don't look.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like you turn away, it's still on the camera.
I
You
know
it's hard.
It can't
All right.
avoid that.
So there we go. We're here. This is going to be good. So, what are you drinking?
Right now, a pickle.
From Frito, where we actually had my going away lunch. It's a pickle goza. Let's see. What is the percentage? This is,
It's just starting me off.
I don't know what it is.
I got some
I'm
peanut butter.
drinking your Dragon Share that Phil sent you a long time ago.
Yeah.
Never tried one of these. They're actually not
They're
bad.
decent.
They're pretty good.
And I'm going with a new Martin House, the Anger Sharks, which is a fruit punch sour.
Anger Sharks.
But there is somebody in the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to bring them up. So everybody, Chatty-O. What's up, Chatty-O? You're muted, so we can't hear you if you talk.
Oh, that was on purpose. I got motorcycles going back and forth, so I got to be on that mute button. I was gonna shave with you too, man, but I guess not. Oh well.
I mean, you could go shave while you're here.
You know what? I might do it. And I told you I wanted to grow out with you, as long as I could trim that up and kind of trim it so it's not all
No, there's no trimming.
70s bush.
Are you gonna trim it for a year?
I can like shave the neck because I don't like it growing on the neck, and we can make it like formed, but
Yeah,
like
that's
some
what I
stuff
mean.
like where I'm not cutting.
I'll do it. I'll do it towards the end. How about that?
So the link is in the chat if anybody, because we are doing Nerd Talk today, and we're doing Nerd Talk in person. But if y'all watched anything from last night, it's been a rough day.
Yeah, it's been a sleepy, nappy day.
It's been rough. because we finished the stream and then we had like another 4-hour discussion.
Solved all the world's problems.
We
in
did.
one discussion.
It's like how Drunk Philosophers was born.
That's right.
And yeah, we're struggling, but we're gonna make it. So we're gonna have a good show tonight. We have 13 people here. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
And I got 2 gifts today. I got a big bottle of Buffalo Trace,
Big bottle.
the huge bottle, and I also got a bottle of Blade and Bow from some of the people that I work with. So that was awesome. It was a good time.
It's
And
cool meeting all those folks. Even Android Zach was there.
Yep, he met Zach.
Yeah, he morphed out of the floor, come up behind me while I was at the vending machine. It was like,
But yeah, that's what we got. There is world peace in Texas. There's always peace in Texas because nobody gives a shit. Yeah, so is beautiful Marcel is taking a nap right now. I think the heat from today kind of got to her.
Yeah, 102 is rough, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was 90 here, and I was just out here like,
Well, my question is, where is Cindy and where are all these people so we can do nerd talk?
I don't know.
Oh, all of us are here. There's
Mm.
2 other people that are normally having on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Cindy is always up on. I saw her earlier. She did the buzz by earlier on my live several hours ago.
I mean, because if all else fails, it's just going to be us, and people are just going to watch us like we were doing last night.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. We'll talk Nintendo. We'll talk Atari. We'll talk PlayStation, Xbox,
Snake of the devil.
arcades, and Cindy.
Well, ahoy, Cindy.
Hey,
Did you enjoy the TikTok dance?
That was for you.
At least
yeah, Mike says that is something I don't need to see on the big screen. So.
my shirt matches my TikTok.
Oh, trust me. As soon as they all got up, I was just averting my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. My leg up. Sorry.
What?
I was trying to put my leg up behind you, but I can't. I can't do it.
Oh,
I came downstairs and I said, Travis, does this make me look weird? And he looked at me. Oh, I can't.
but it's not my fault. He had a Mountain Dew bottle shoved down his tights. Okay. I was kind of thrown off.
He made you ask that.
Oh my god. Oh, this girl, that's hysterical.
So it is what it is. But you ready to get into tonight's topic? Because here's the thing. He's leaving early in the morning. We're not gonna do a late night. We're gonna have some fun here. We're gonna do our show, and that's gonna be it because he's got like an 11-hour drive tomorrow.
And
Yeah.
4 o'clock comes on all for early.
Yeah.
I think everybody in Texas is going to be in church in the morning, so maybe that it won't be so bad. I don't think.
Yeah, okay.
There's so many sinners there, Jimmy. You know that.
All right. So nerd talk. Tonight's topic, we are talking about video games. And video games, I think it might be easiest just to go in chronological order, starting from video games from like the earliest video games that y'all enjoyed. Y'all, as in old people. Because I can tell you, my first video game system was the Nintendo, the regular Nintendo.
Okay.
So that's really where my video game stuff happens. But y'all had like ColecoVisions and Ataris and Pong machines and all that.
And
shit.
television,
God,
all that.
He was putting his thumbnail together and he was pulling up video game systems and he looked at me. He's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'm like, "It's a ColecoVision, dude. Like, you never seen a ColecoVision?"
I had no idea.
Wow. Yeah, mine goes back to Atari. So
No, I did play Atari, and I can talk about a couple of Atari games because there are some that I really loved and enjoyed. And I'm surprised.
same.
I need them to make like how they did the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, like the mini. I need them to do an Atari one. with-
They have
They
one.
got one, yeah.
There's one out there. Yeah.
Does they have Babam on there?
It may. When I get home, I'll dig it
Yeah,
out.
Babam is what I want. I want to play Babam. I feel so weird without my mustache. I don't like it. I actually have an upper lip. It's weird. All right,
We,
so
we saw it a few weeks ago with your mishap, so it's all good.
yeah, but I did
Or a
that
couple
was
months
that
ago.
was a mistake. This one was intentional.
That's true.
So I feel like I've done something wrong.
Yeah.
All right, so what is the first? We can even go like when you were in the arcades and stuff.
Oh,
But what was y'all's first video game that y'all remember playing? Go ahead.
Okay. I am old, and our first video game was actually a Pong. That's the earliest one I remember playing. And we took turns in front of the TV, and we hooked up our Pong to the TV, and it had two knobs on the same console, so each person had to sit side by side and turn the knobs.
mm.
Did y'all ever try to like? Because I remember watching an episode of that '70s show where they're like, "Oh, this is too easy," so they went in there and like changed stuff so it made the paddles smaller.
Oh yeah. You can.
You had a slide and switch
A
that
little.
changed your hardness.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that with TikTok ties.
You had a switch, a
Yeah.
lever to
difficulty level.
change your hardness.
That's
Difficulty.
how easy it used to be. Just
Yeah,
It's
like,
like,
you just- and it changes
go.
the size of your paddle.
This is what happened when you have internet and porn is easily accessible. It
Yeah.
used to be that easy to get hardness. Just flipping a switch. Today,
folks are desensitized nowadays. They don't use their imagination.
so Pong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had a Pong system, but it was a different version. I had the Sears Pong, and we actually had the corded paddles, the fancy smancy
Oh
ones.
yeah,
But
y'all had high dollar.
yeah, but you had to put flashlight batteries in it to run it because it did not plug into the wall. So
How long would those D cell batteries last?
about a week or so.
Okay.
It wasn't running very much. If you really think about it, it wasn't like processing anything much.
Yeah.
But the earliest video game I remember, it was like Submarine Hunter or something like that. The first time I went to Dog Patch USA as a little kid, I played. It was like there was just these lights in like a submarine. You were supposed to shoot it with a torpedo. That's the first actual video game
Mhm.
I remember getting my hands on. Dog Patch. Who remembers that?
I don't know what that is.
Dog Patch.
Yeah.
I don't remember Dog Patch.
Dog Patch USA.
I remember.
Oh man.
Is that like
You mean the cartoon character?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they had a whole amusement park up in the hills of Arkansas based on
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Of course.
It was up by Jasper, Arkansas.
Was it a dog that wore like a straw hat and drank
No.
moonshine out of a jar?
Remember the Shmew?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
man.
don't know who the Shmew was?
No,
Yeah,
they were hillbilly.
it was
You
actually.
can't say that.
I did. He said I could.
I did. I gave him permission to use the word hillbilly. Yeah,
I
Dog
use
Patch
that word all the
USA,
time. I have family who are hillbillies. I'm like,
it's a super old comic book strip, actually, and then they made an amusement park out of it. Little Abner, Daisy May, all that.
Days in May.
Yeah.
Mm.
It would be very, very inappropriate nowadays. I think.
So I have never played on a Pong machine. I've never played Pong. I think I played it on Atari.
Mhm.
that's where I played it. Yeah.
But I played Atari because we had an Atari. But I remember the most I played Atari was when we would go to Grandma Lander's house, and they had a huge box of like games. And here's the thing: if you are to play today's games, then go back and play Atari games. You have to have a very vivid imagination.
Mhm.
You're like, oh, Fester's Quest, and it's like, oh, you're a square, but you're like, no, this is my guy.
No, that's it. Look at the detail.
Look at this. It's 2 bits.
Yeah.
2. So watch this. Watch this walk.
Yep.
And you're like, oh man, this is the greatest thing ever. But again, with the Atari, Babam was always the game I liked playing. So it was like a wall, and there was a criminal up on top of the wall, and he would drop bombs, and you had to use the paddle,
Mhm.
the little wheel paddle, and it was just you had 3 little buckets of water, and you had to catch the bombs before it hit.
Yeah.
And that fucking criminal guy at the top, after like stage 3, he cheated like a motherfucker.
Oh,
Of course he did. It was coded that way.
Because all you hear is and that's all you hear. And then level 3 is like and you're like, oh, and I never got good at that game.
It's the same concept as Space Invaders. You start out
Reverse.
easy,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just shoot down. Then you have to try to shoot the spaceship that's running across the screen on the top between the other one.
Ooh, Missile Command. I played Missile Command too.
Missile Command was awesome. The rollerball in the arcade one time, I took a whole chunk off of my pinky because I slapped it down so hard it like took a piece of skin off the side of my finger.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah,
I did that on
Yeah.
golf one.
yeah. Yep.
I always slice that bitch though for some reason. All right, Chadio. First video game you can remember playing.
It was Atari, and it was my jam as a kid at Dad's house. It was Breakout.
Mm.
They
Breakout.
got the bricks.
that
It
the
was
ball?
almost like Pong, but it was
Yeah.
just a
And you're trying to like break all the bricks.
Yeah,
break
and you
all
gotta
the bricks.
keep
and
bouncing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Man, once
Ooh.
you get the ball up there, you just can sit back and just watch it take all the bricks.
I
Yeah,
know that game. I know that.
that was my jam back when I was a kid. I loved that. I was like 3 or 4, just like getting down on that. And, I loved it.
All right, Cindy. First video game that you can remember.
Okay, first video game I played at home because my dad actually was a gamer too.
Uh-huh.
Was Donkey Kong, Frogger, and Cubert
Mm.
Hubert.
on Atari. Yeah, I was the shit with Frogger. I could do that, no problem. My dad was Donkey Kong all the way. Now my mom, on the other hand, was the Cubert master. And so the three of us hilariously would fight over who would have the Atari.
Now, Cyrus, I'm not saying it's your first game. It's the first game you can remember. First game that comes to mind, like your first games.
Those are the first that we played, that all of us played pretty much at home, but at outside at Pizza Hut and stuff, it was Centipede and the roller ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
Centipede.
I remember that. Yeah.
Millipede. Mm.
So,
Good stuff.
Mike,
First one at home I can remember, Atari Demon Attack. It was basically like Space Invaders, except it was demons instead of
so it just had one extra pixel, so it looked
Yeah.
like horns.
Yeah.
basically. But
They didn't even change the sound effects or anything. It was just
And there was another game. I cannot remember it now. It was you were being chased by a ghost car. So it's basically Pac-Man, but it's a car.
Mm.
And I can't remember the name of it now.
They had a lot of like clone games back then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was hard to create one, so they just
But,
changed
yeah,
a couple
going-
of things.
okay. So with the Atari, I have watched the documentary. I need to know if anybody ever played the ET game.
I did play it, and I hated it.
No.
No.
It's so frustrating.
I heard it was so broken, and
Yeah.
they just have landfills full
Full
of
of it.
ET games.
Yeah,
If you could pull one out of that landfill, man, that's bank.
that one game sunk the
Yeah.
entire industry until the Nintendo came out.
Yeah. But
They tried to come back with the Atari 5200, the Atari 7800, which were decent systems, and there was very limited PC games back in those days. The PCs were kind of coming alive, but it wasn't until the Nintendo that it actually came back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the PC games we played?
Mm-hmm.
NIST and Dune.
You know,
Dune, I know.
they played Leisure Shoot Larry.
I had Leisure. I never played Leisure Suit Larry. I had Leisure Suit Larry pinball
Oh,
on the
oh.
MS DOS.
Mm.
So it was just pinball with Leisure Suit Larry on
Yeah.
it, and like it'd be.
So you
a
never
chick
got to
open it up, and it was just like these are the lights,
Yeah.
and it would be like boop, boop, boop. You never saw anything. But I heard Leisure Suit Larry was actually pretty rough.
It is a hilarious game, and all you see in the original Leisure Shoot Larry is a black censor bar, like going up and down and stuff. They don't show anything, but
Yeah.
that's the first time ever like there was a raunchy video game.
Mm-hmm. I remember Leisure Suit Larry. Hell yeah.
Remember
It's
when
still
you
around.
get
They still have
grabbed and you
different
start running in a
variants
circle
now.
and the crotch be on fire?
I don't know.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got to go back.
So here's the question. Let's stick with Atari before I move on.
Yeah.
So Atari, your top games when it came to Atari.
Mine is Mega Mania. Mega Mania is a super high-speed version of Space Invaders, and I was a official Mega Maniac. I scored 60,000, took a Polaroid of it, sent it into the fan club. Somewhere I exist on some roll.
I'm looking it up right now. Keep going. Keep going.
And then, of course, Pitfall. I know you're going to talk about Pitfall, but and those also weirdly are like two of the commercials. We were talking about like commercials for old video games that would really stuck in my head. Mega Mania had Zach, he's a Mega Maniac, you know that. And then Pitfall. What was the Pitfall song?
Oh, I don't remember.
I
can remember Tetris song because it's stuck in your head.
You know, our first exposure of the great and wonderful Jack Black was in a Pitfall commercial back in the
Yes, that was his breakout, his premiere.
As a kid, yeah.
No Tenacious D with that Pitfall.
Right.
I remember playing Space Invaders most of everything when I was on Atari.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, we got the game and we didn't go out and buy a bunch of games. We played the same game over and over and over again.
Yep.
I mean, Asteroids came with the console, so
Right.
everybody played Asteroid and Combat, the tank game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Combat. Remember that
I
one.
think it was called Fist Fight. That's how it always ended up.
Yeah. On the tank game, you learn to do certain tricks, like you can get to a corner of a wall and turn, and it'll flip you somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh no, where is he going to come now?"
And then remember, it had the little biplanes and the jet fighters and all.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty advanced stuff for the time. But
This game was
Or you would take your tank and put it back in like a corner, so that way you had the strategic advantage. Nobody could get behind you. Yeah.
And you could set that game to where
I know this game.
where your bullets bounced and bounced around, or you could set it to where it just died when it hit a wall. And
Yeah.
so that was the hardest. You had to aim instead of getting lucky shots when you bounce.
that's the Starship Enterprise right there.
not technically, but yeah, that's the Enterprise. He's watching the videos of Mega Mania. The trick to Mega Mania was you had to float your joystick. You had to time your joystick and your button. Yeah,
Yeah, fuck this level, man.
that's the easy shit right there.
Sorry, I got distracted.
After the Atari,
After the Atari.
Well,
So-
they didn't talk about their favorite.
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Favorite Atari games?
Chad.
Yeah, I did play a whole lot on there. If I remember, I think yeah, I'm looking at a list right now. Of course, ping pong and all the pong and stuff like that, but I just don't have much memories. That was like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh,
Back then in the mid 80s after my parents divorced. That's just what I would do at my dad's house. It was, like I said, was breakout for me. 100% breakout.
Yes, he's calling you old. You are old.
Chatty calling me old.
But you are
I
old.
don't, I
I'm
know
not calling you
mid-80s,
old. I'm just saying I just don't remember too much of it because I was like 3 or 4 in 1986.
Boothill Arcade.
So it had to have been Breakout or Pong or I think Pac-Man. I think my dad had Pac-Man on it too. Yeah,
I thought, Cyrus, I thought Paperboy was on Nintendo.
it is Nintendo, 100%.
Yeah, it
Or
was.
That's not Atari.
No, I
that's
don't
one of
think
my
they ever-
jams of Nintendo.
I don't think they ever attempted Paperboy on the Atari because Atari was already like
Yeah,
shit
it's
can.
too advanced for Atari.
So, Cindy and Mike, favorites for Atari?
Well, I'm gonna go with the old classic Pac-Man. You know, you can't go wrong with Pac-Man.
Here's the problem with Pac-Man. Here's the problem.
Is there a problem with Pac-Man?
Yes, his wife, Miss Pac-Man, is a fucking whore. She runs around swallowing balls,
Mhm.
and she like puts lipstick on and a bow, trying to show everybody how good she is at swallowing balls.
Joke's on you. That's actually Pac-Man in drag.
Yeah.
Dang it.
How do you know it was a her?
I was assuming gender. I'm sorry. It's 2022.
Sorry.
I assumed it was a her because of her Miss Pac-Man. So
How
I was
dare
going
you.
by her pronouns.
Yeah. It was Miss Pac-Man, not Mrs. Pac-Man. Remember, she was still single. She just missed.
That is.
As I said, she was a whore, but eventually she got with Pac-Man and it was Mrs.
You're tall ass Pac-Man.
So, Atari, I did not get much time playing Atari. Chadio didn't, and we talked about favorite. Now, I remember, here's the day my life changed.
Oh Lord.
I was maybe 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
Christmas morning.
Oh God.
I come downstairs, we're opening, and you know when you get like a special present, that one's always the last one, and they don't let you open that one up to the last one. Like, no, it's the last one you open.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. And again, and it was to me and my sister. We had a shared present. I'm like, this is some bullshit, right? Why are we sharing presents? And then I open it up, and now that I think about it, if I look at it back in time, I do the same thing for Devin, but I will buy stuff for it, but it's not for Devin. I think this was for my dad.
Of
course.
Of course it was.
I opened it up, and it was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Came with the light gun,
Mm-hmm.
2 controllers,
Mm-hmm.
and Mario Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt.
Now, let me tell you something about that Duck Hunt game. Fuck that dog.
What?
I
shoot
have
him.
lost more rounds of Duck Hunt just wasting my bullets trying to shoot the fucking dog because he laughed at me. Right?
Right.
But when it came to Nintendo, that is where my gaming started. That is where that day changed my life forever.
I remember how addictive Mario World was. Not Super Mario World. Was it Super Mario World, or is it just? It was Super Mario
Brothers.
That was
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. It was just
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, like I
The
remember
Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
No, Mario Brothers was a different game. That's the one with the 2 pipes at the end.
Yeah.
It had- the Super Mario Brothers was World 1-1.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember how addictive that was. But for me, it was Excite Bike. That was my jam.
Did you always make your own courses?
Yeah, that was like one of the first true sandbox games where you could make your own levels.
Now here's the question though: did you ever put anything in your level besides the giant fucking
Oh,
ramps?
no, hell no, no. Yeah, I did the turbos. You got to put all the turbos.
Yeah, the turbos in between. But I'm saying you got turbo strips to go fast, huge ramps. Nobody ever put speed bumps on their own personal course.
Horrible.
I don't think I ever played that game with the carts. That was the first one was just regular Mario Brothers where you jumped on the Goombas and bounced on the turtles and got
No,
lots of
that
cheating lives.
is Super Mario Brothers. That is Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
The regular Mario Brothers, it's you and Luigi, and it has the little spike things and the turtles coming out of the pipe at the top. And you would go and you'd hit you either have a POW thing and you'd hit that, or you hit a block underneath, they'd fall over, and you had to go up and actually kick them.
Kind of looked like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it looked like Donkey Kong. That is Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers is the game you were talking about, which we have spent many.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
And then you jump on that turtle multiple times, and you just let it go there. You hit that one special spot, and you get a 1-up each time it drops. And then you have so many lives, it's not even numbers anymore. It's like a crown and a square, and you're like, how many lives is that? I'm like, I don't know. I can die a lot until you just run out of time, and then you just try to do it again.
And that's a bad thing about some of those games. There were no save spots.
Until
It's time to go to dinner.
until a special golden cartridge came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're not talking
You're
about
talking about the Game Genie, baby.
no, not the Game Genie.
Okay.
But there is one game. I'm sorry. So that was the NES. How it came to play, how it came to be in my
Oh,
house.
I know what game you're talking about. I'm not gonna let you.
And,
I'll let you have that golden cartridge. That's yours.
What's up,
I know what you're talking
Kamea?
about.
How goes it? Yay. So Kamea's here.
But the good thing about buying a Nintendo for your kids when that age, you got something to ground them from to make sure they clean their room.
Tactical.
So there you go.
Mhm.
It's always ulterior motives. I get to play and I get to use it against them.
Mhm.
So going with the Nintendo,
Mhm.
your most remembered, most influential game when it came to just the regular Nintendo. If you look back and you say, this is when I played Nintendo, what game comes to your mind that you would say that is the greatest game Nintendo ever put out?
Mm.
Man, we should let that.
Yeah, let's let Chadio go first because this is Chadio's wheelhouse right here.
I hate. I'm stealing it, and I know you're gonna get pissed. I'm sorry, but not only did I have it on the NES, I also had it on Game Boy, which I love both versions. It's got to be Legend of Zelda. That has stuck with me.
Dun, dun, dun.
That still sticks with me. My brother still has Nintendo systems. He's like, "Hey, I got the new Zelda game." I'm like, "Give me the controller." You know, let's go. Zelda is my jam.
That fucking Master Sword happened to go through the Lost Woods. The cross section, you had to go up, left, up, right, down, and then to the left again, and then you got to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The worst creatures in that game was I think are the likes. Those
Shield Eaters?
The Shield Eaters. You go down with the shield in the dungeon and they get your shield. Now you have no protection and you have to go out and earn lots more rupees so you can buy the shield. And then you go out there and they eat your shield again. You go, dang it.
Yep.
A lot of
Love
work.
that. Love that game.
We're going to talk about how much work we put into this game.
That game, I was not a fan because it was a lot of work. I was like, oh, you can save it? Cool. I just went back to Excitebike.
It was a grinder. It was definitely I think it was the first grinding game out there because a lot of games now you have to grind. That was the first one you had to just absolutely just spend hours on playing, just grind it out.
People were spending months at a time trying to beat that whole game.
I never
In your
played
mom's basement,
What?
Zelda.
in school.
Are we just going to talk about Zelda now? Let's just talk about Zelda.
Let's get Cindy first.
Cindy and Mike. Okay.
Well, you had to get Mike because y'all had Nintendo, we had Sega.
Sega.
We had a Sega Saturn.
No,
And
the Sega came out at the time as Super Nintendo, not the regular Nintendo.
Now the Master
yeah, I
System
know, but
came out
but
before
see, I was still doing Atari and computer games at that time. So I was at that age. I was like, yeah, and my sister was still kind of little.
Right.
So we didn't do a Nintendo. We actually were gaming with computers, and then my sister come along and we got a Sega Saturn.
Do I have a name?
That's when we went back to, we had Sonic, and the other one that I would love to find now is Clockwork Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it had that
Nights. Yeah.
it had that weird wind up knight that did that weird dance move. I remember that. But see, we didn't do the Nintendo at our house. Mm-mm.
So what's MAME?
MAME is a emulator. You can emulate any gaming system, any arcade game, and all the ROMs, which are the software for the games. You download the ROM, you load it into MAME, the software. You can emulate any arcade game, any console game. It's all there.
Ooh.
Is it free?
Yes.
So this wind up night, did you have to go? Was it like jousting or anything like that, or?
He was weird because he went through like different parts of the house. He was a little wind up night. I remember the one level that I hated the most was when he went through the kitchen because he had to jump over the bubbles in the kitchen sink to get over to the other side to fight the big boss. And at that point, I was mad because my dad was a truck driver. He'd come home on the weekends, and when he would want to play would be on the weekends. Well, I had gotten to that final level. My dad came in. He wanted the game, so I had to cut it off at that point. And I was just like, son of a... He said, don't even finish it. Don't even finish it. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, we put the electricity bill up in our house quite a bit because we never turned that thing off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you hope nobody would turn it off. You say, oh, you try to hide the consoles where nobody's going to go over there and turn it off.
By accident.
We got to the point
Or
we
on
put
purpose.
a TV at the end of the hallway on a bookcase. That way the TV in the living room was not being disturbed. So here we are sitting on the floor in the hallway at a bookcase doing this, looking like a bunch of nuts because here's two girls in a hallway playing video games. But
You gotta do what you gotta do. Got creative back then.
All right, Mike, what do you got? Favorite Nintendo?
If you had
Metroid.
Metroid.
Original Metroid.
That game was
Paperboy was fun. But I'll tell you, talk about your dad gaming. My dad could get on Duck Hunt, not the ducks, but the clay pigeons, and he was dead eye on them things.
Well, here's the thing: if you got really close right up to the TV screen, I could hit it every single time.
That's how I did it too.
But those
There we
ducks
go.
were flying really fast.
Yeah, but they're
But so before we talk about Zelda, because Zelda is the thing that changed me into a gamer. But there are honorable mentions for Nintendo. A lot of time that I spent was Faxanadu. That was one of them. Kid Icarus, where you played as like Cupid, like I don't know, he had wings and stuff.
You were Icarus.
Yeah, you were Icarus or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Narc, Alien Syndrome, the Gremlins game.
How about Mega Man?
I hate Mega Man.
Oh,
Mega Man was the shit.
man.
I got down on Mega Man. It was that's up there too on my list. That was
Mega Man is hard.
It's very hard.
And that's the thing. When unless you had a Game Genie, which I do have a Game Genie, it's upstairs. I still have the book and I have the gold cartridge that goes in. I still have it.
Oh man.
I was like, you cheating son of a bitch. What is this?
Everybody had it back then. Are you kidding me?
But I mean, let's be real. Nintendo, this is why I think kids have it too easy. This is why I think they have issues with dealing with confrontation and stuff. Like everything is given to them now. Nintendo, you had to actually get good at a game. You had to get good, scrub. You had to actually work. And then you had to put in time. You couldn't just be like, oh, I'm just going to turn it on, play 20 minutes, and then get off. No, if you ever wanted to get anywhere in the game, you had to put in the time. And I'm telling you, there was many Friday, Saturday night pulling all-nighters. And sitting on the floor with that big-ass TV that was like all wooden that had the little turned up.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sitting there, and I'm pretty sure the screen was not pretty much any bigger than my monitor that I'm using now. But we played Nintendo all the time. But but it was, you had to work at it. You had to figure stuff out unless you wanted to use the hotline to call for tips. By the way, make sure to ask your parents before you do that because you will get in trouble.
There's two. They also had the magazine. You remember the magazine you could subscribe to, and every month they'll send you the magazine. And in the magazine, there'd be a code for a certain game in it.
And then
That the
Speaking of
Nintendo.
skill-based games, I like Mike Tyson's Punch Out or the original Punch Out. Oh man,
Was that,
Mike
was that
Tyson's
Nintendo or
was better
Super?
than Punch Out.
yeah.
Who was your favorite person to box against in Mike Tyson's Punch Out?
I liked Bald Bull, the second one, because you fight him twice. The second time, like you had, to have, you had to have that down, and then he would dodge your shit. He learned from the first time you knocked him out. Super Macho Man was cool too.
I still think King Hippo was the best.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, it took me like an entire day to figure that out because I didn't have any way. You couldn't just go look shit up back then. I was like, wow, what the hell is going on? And then finally he lifted his hand up and there was the Band-Aid on his belly button.
I never beat it. I got to Mike Tyson many a time.
Yeah.
Never beat Mike Tyson. That was just, it was just the joy of getting there.
We got to where we were beating Mike Tyson in the first round.
No way.
Yep. Knocked him
Yeah.
out. First
Oh, yeah.
round.
But the top game for me, and I would say even number 2, I loved Link or Zelda 2, Link. Again, gold cartridge makes it stand out from everything else.
Yeah.
Remember that. You could save, but this is where I became a completionist. And this was me and my dad. And I guess Joe helped some too. But we spent an entire summer, and I'm not even joking. An entire summer, we had computer paper that was still connected. You had to tear off in between. And we mapped out the entire game, square by square. And when I say mapped out, we bombed every single wall. We burned every single bush, and we would mark saying, this is what you burned, this is what's in this hole. We did that the entire game. And you can look in like old Game Informers where it had like the map and everything was there. We made it by hand. Then you went to the castles or the dungeons. We drew those out. Room by room, what enemies are in there, how many are in there, here's where the keys are, all that stuff.
Go get Kelly.
But I am saying right now, once you finally beat Ganon, here's the problem. The game is not over because it resets and now you're in the dark world. And guess what we had to do again? Go to every single bush, burn it, bomb every single wall because it all changed. And that is where me and my dad and my sister, I guess, that is where we became gamers. And there were games.
The original game too, though.
Huh?
They did that on the original game too. So you beat the game, and then you start over, and it's completely different.
Right.
Yeah.
It had the same maps, but different trees or different stones to move, and the dungeons were different.
spots.
Right.
But answer me this. How do you get a red suit and all of a sudden you're harder to kill? It doesn't make sense to me.
Deadpool, baby.
Yeah. Can't see the blood. It's fine.
After we made this map on this computer paper, we got packing tape and taped it and laminated that whole map with packing tape. Clear packing tape. Rolled it up, and that was
It's got to be somewhere.
that was our accomplishment. We spent many hours together.
It's gonna be worth a lot of money to somebody.
What now? You go online and say, "Show me the map," and it's there, but it doesn't have the same value.
Hey, Twisted Art Lady, how you doing, Sam?
Hey, Twisted. So here's the question: is there anything else from Nintendo's special mentions that y'all want to talk about?
Tecmo Bowl.
Man, John Elway.
John Elway and freaking
Joe Montana.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
Oh my
Gotta get some more
God,
jerky.
That was such a cheating ass game. Like if you were anybody other than freaking San Francisco or who was it? Kansas City? No, who had Bo Jackson?
Oakland.
Oakland, yeah.
Raiders.
You had to be one of those two. And if you were San Francisco, the 49ers, you were going to win. Like, yeah, you just run that one slant pass to Jerry Rice and it's over.
Is this spicy or not spicy?
And it's regular.
Oh, is it more spicy?
No, I've got another bag. I got another bag.
Oh yeah.
I will say, this Nintendo started me on my electronic repair career because I know how to fix electronics. You pull the cartridge out, blow it, and put it back in.
Okay, Dad,
Yes.
if you talk, if
I'm gonna get some more jerky.
Talking about video games, make sure you mention Amanda the Inventor and Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't know any of those games.
Five Nights.
Well, we'll get there.
That's modern.
Everybody, look at my dad in his TikTok tights being an asshole.
Ow! Shake it. I've got an honorable mention for Nintendo that has stuck with me, and it's the most ridiculous game you could ever imagine, and it was Gilligan's Island. We had Gilligan's Island, and I got to the end once,
Yeah. Oh, he froze.
Yeah, he froze
and a
up.
stupid stump was in my way, and I'm like, why can't I get around a stupid stump? And that's it. I couldn't get around the stump. I forgot to pick up a saw somewhere towards the beginning.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I was so mad, but that was a fun game.
Well, we did talk about Top Gun today.
Yes, yeah, the Top Gun game.
Fuck that.
I just watched the original on a
Yeah,
tree.
it wasn't about the game wasn't hard. Like people always complained about trying to land on the aircraft carrier after.
Oh yeah.
That was not the hard part. For me, it was getting the fuel in the air.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck! Speed up! Slow down! It was horrible.
Did you have the joystick with it? Oh, see, I remember I got the Top Gun game. I got the joystick with it and just was flying around with it. And it was hard. Yeah, you're right. The refueling was crap.
Did y'all ever have the power pad? Like
I
the
had
track
that.
and field where you would you're
Yes.
supposed to stand up
My
and run
neighbors
on it,
did.
but
Yep.
you never did it because you always just run hands and knees.
He knows what's up.
Remember the forearm muscle development we all had? Not just like track and field, just like people could just vibrate their finger at a certain point.
What about the glove?
The Power Glove, yeah.
Made it to men with
Everybody said about Nintendo now?
I never had a power glove.
the power glove was so stupid. It's just a damn controller on a glove. It's like,
Which was awesome.
Hey now, that was where Thanos came from.
There we go.
So next, went from Nintendo for me to Super Nintendo.
Well, real quick, they did have the Sega Master System, which had Space Harrier and MotoGP, and they had their own version of the light gun. It was out at the same time Nintendo was. It was for the cool kids because it costed like $400 back in the 80s to get one of those things. But the graphics were better, funner games, and then Super Nintendo came out.
So Super Nintendo. I think this is gonna be spicy.
Yeah, I'm already tore up a little bit because I ate that last piece of the other one.
You got
But
it, Jimmy.
for Super Nintendo, yes, Zelda: A Link to the Past is definitely one of the top ones.
Yeah.
And Super Mario World, that's where Yoshi first really made a scene.
Yeah.
Oh man, we left out all the other Marios on Nintendo, like Mario 3 or Mario
Mario 3
2.
was good.
Super Mario 3 when you got the you
The
could fly.
Tanuki suit.
Yeah, that was the shit.
You got the P-Wing because you die so much it just lets you pass it.
I hate it because you could always tell when a Nintendo game felt sorry for you because you would die like 5 times, and then all of a sudden it was easy and you passed it, and you're like, "Fuck
I
you,
don't know.
Nintendo, I can do it."
Super Mario Brothers 2 pissed me off at the end. I'm like, son of a bitch, it was a dream. God damn it.
I'm just saying.
It's back there.
Zelda keeps getting kidnapped by Ganon. I think she just wants to get kidnapped. I think she likes Ganon. And Peach is always being kidnapped by Koopa. I'm like, what the fuck?
Is this a Link?
What?
This Link? Oh, well, I'm not talking. We're talking about Zelda.
No, we're on the Super Nintendo now.
Yeah, I'm saying that's the game console that had Link, where you shadow fought yourself.
That was Nintendo.
Really?
That was regular Nintendo.
Oh, I get them all confused.
No. So Super Nintendo, you had those Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Right.
Street Fighter. and Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo.
So
yes. So many games on that.
who do you play the most as? Who did you play as?
Guile.
Guile?
Always Guile.
I always play. I don't give a fuck. I played Chun-Li every single time.
Chun-Li.
I was that asshole that would do nothing but sit there for fucking. Nope. I wouldn't do a spin kick. I would sit there and just do the kick for the entire match until you got pissed off.
Or you like.
I always tried to make it different. And Travis would kick my butt because he did the same thing over and over and over again.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Super NES was awesome. The Turtles in Time. And yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one too. Yeah.
I remember the NES Turtles.
Oh, fuck that game.
Yeah, that one's
Oh, that in the original one, it was
so hard. It's like,
I was good until the water level with the electric fucking seaweed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Like Battletoads.
Battletoads is extremely hard too.
Yeah.
Even with the games, you never beat that.
Yeah, Battletoads. Ridiculous.
So that was when they had they started branching off into the different Marios, wasn't it?
What are you talking about?
Like Dr. Mario and
Dr. Mario was regular Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was basically the competitor to Tetris. You just
Yeah,
you just
it
have
was
pills.
Tetris
You have
with Mario.
pills instead.
like the first fusion game.
But I'm trying to think of what I had. Maximum Carnage, which was Spider-Man and Venom versus Carnage.
Yeah.
That was an awesome game. That was my first side scroll beat 'em up. Because I really didn't play that much Double Dragon and stuff back in Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is also the first game I ever saved up to actually buy, and that was Mortal Kombat 2 on Super Nintendo
With the purple blood.
Yeah, and I went all the way. I saved up my allowance.
Yeah.
Get over here. And I went, and this is how long ago it was. Toys R Us. I went to Toys R Us to buy this game.
Cool.
And this is where my dad taught me a very important lesson about tax. Because I brought enough money to pay for the game. I did not know anything about tax.
Oh no. Yeah.
And you know what? Most people would be like, it's cool. We'll take care of it. My dad taught the lesson. He's like, nope, you'll come back when you have enough money.
There
And
you
I
go.
did. I
That's
came back
girl.
and I got it
I love
2
it.
weeks later.
Hey,
I learned about taxes.
Yeah.
Pay taxes.
The Genesis came out just right about the same time, or maybe just before the Super Nintendo.
They were right around the same time, probably within a
I
month or
had
two.
both, which was insanely expensive at the time, and I just got married to Marcia Dale. But the only reason I had a Genesis is because I wanted to play Mortal Kombat with blood, but horrible sound. But
I know I've never had a Sega Genesis. I never had a Dreamcast. I never had anything Sega.
Sega had the cool games. Just,
So
You had
did you play?
Altered Beast.
mhm.
Altered
No.
Beast was awesome.
Did you play? Did you play Sonic then?
Oh, I played the
Son-
shit out of Sonic. You kidding
Sonic
me?
was my shit. You know that little bing 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 when he got the rings and shit.
The first time you ever got over the loop, you're just like, oh,
Yes.
God, I'm hooked right here.
What was that sound
Yeah.
again?
Ding, ding, ding.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I did the loop, I may have squealed and threw the controller, and my sister was sitting there screaming at me, "You idiot! You just died!" I'm like, ah.
Yeah, Sonic was cool. It was just a cooler, smoother, funner version of Mario.
I don't know why we didn't buy a Sega Genesis. Maybe they were just more expensive than
Sega
Nintendo's.
was expensive, and it was just you got Sega because you wanted to be different. You didn't want to be like everybody else that had Nintendo. And that's why I bought a Sega Saturn instead of a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation for the longest time.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I bought a Betamax tape recorder then because I wanted to be different too.
Yeah,
Oh, that one.
Yeah, see how that happened.
I know some people who bought the HD DVD over the Blu-ray, and
Oh.
collector's
Anyway.
items now.
Mhm.
But this is where we start getting into the better stuff. So you went with what instead of PlayStation?
A Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn, Sega CD, all that stuff.
Well, the Sega
Yep.
CD, the 32X, all hooked to your Genesis.
N64.
You would end up with like a $10,000 version of a Genesis. You stack all that shit up. Legitimately, I've spent about $1,000 having the 32X and a Sega CD on my Genesis.
So the first one I went to was a PlayStation.
Mhm.
From Super Nintendo, I went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation 1. And I remember Laura Croft and her pointy titties
Tomb Raider.
was sexy.
I was so jealous of people that they actually did have a PlayStation, but I would never let them know. I was like, no, my Saturn's so much better. No.
Yeah.
I got Virtual Fighter.
Oh, I got a PS1 game I forgot about. Just remembered.
What you got?
Loaded was the first PlayStation 1 game I ever played.
That was
Loaded. But Resident Evil is the most memorable because I was hanging out with my buddy. I don't know, I was probably maybe 8th grade. He was a senior in high school, and we pulled an all-nighter, and we were playing the original Resident Evil all night. And that was just, we got to the end, we beat it, and we looked at the clock, it was like 4 a.m. We're like,
Loaded.
But
One of those where you're
very
looking at,
memorable.
Diablo.
Mhm.
Super bloody. It was like one of the bloodiest games that ever come out at the
Mhm.
time on a home console.
Really?
Really good game.
remember Diablo? Yeah.
I don't know. I played a lot of Tomb Raider. You played a lot of Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. Had to fight dinosaurs in Tomb Raider.
Raptors.
I always wondered where she kept it because you had unlimited ammo.
No, you had to find ammo.
No. The original Tomb Raider with just the regular pistols,
Yeah.
you had unlimited ammo. I always wondered where she kept that ammo because she was wearing skimpy shorts and pretty much a halter top on now.
I mean, really? Do you really have to ask that question? Really?
Tekken was the game
Tekken?
that lured
Tekken.
me over to the
Tekken was
PlayStation
cool.
side.
Well, about this time, PlayStation was. I was starting getting into actual computer games,
Yeah.
and so I started drifting toward computer games. Travis was going for the consoles, and I was on computer games.
Well, y'all were talking Sega and its offspins. Well, what about Virtual Fighter?
Virtual Fighter. You said you had Virtual.
Yeah,
Fighter.
Virtual Fighter was the Sega. You had to be insanely skilled to play that game. Like it was not a button mashing type game, but it would piss you off when some kid would just get on the front mashing buttons and kill you. But you had to learn. There was like thousands of moves that you had to learn.
Oh, we're not talking about Eddie Gordo. That was Tekken, right?
No, Goro. That was
Eddie Gordo, the flipping guy.
Yeah, that's Tekken. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, King Tiger or whatever his name was.
Wait a minute. Was that the one that had like May or?
I think so.
She was the one with the little space buttons. I always chose the one with the little space buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna say Jackson.
It's hot.
Hot. Oh man,
I made this.
I'm kind of jealous. I'm jealous.
More
I want some
spicy.
burn. I had some bomb last night. That kicked the crap out of me. Thanks,
I
Frank.
was really enjoying that jerky last night, but that was after all those BCSs, so I
Yeah.
may have been a little bit numb to the pain.
Possibly.
I was like, man,
Yeah,
this shit ain't hot at all. Today I tried a piece. I was like, holy crap.
Well,
Yeah, that's Carolina Reaper and Ghost Pepper.
ooh, oh, that sounds delicious. Oh my gosh. I may
So-
need to make a deal with Papa Squirrel to get some of that.
Let's see. I had the Sega Genesis, and somehow my mom won this. I don't remember. She like bought something at the grocery store, and she won a contest. But I
Y'all,
had, the Dreamcast.
Yeah, oh,
I,
yeah.
I don't remember any game off the Dreamcast, but that I had it.
Echo? Was
Shenmue.
Echo on Dreamcast?
The whole Shenmue thing started on Dreamcast. It was the Yakuza open-ended game, open world. Oh. Remember, what was the weird fish game? Seaman. Remember Seaman on the Dreamcast? Seaman.
But okay, let me take you for a walk.
The Dreamcast it had a built-in modem. It was like one of the first consoles that actually had a built-in modem, and a lot of people were using those to hack shit.
Was that like a first online game kind of thing?
The Dreamcast, it was Sega's last big console. This was there was actually your controller had a mini controller, like kind of like the Switches now. Like the controller had a controller in the controller. It had too much shit. The games were really good, but it was super expensive. It had built-in online play. Like I said, it had a modem built into the console, which was the first time that had ever happened.
So you had to dial in and pay.
Yep.
Oh.
And then like PlayStation had System Link, where you could knock a hole through your wall, which we did, run a little Cat 5 through the house. You could actually play, but you had to buy like the System Link cable that it was Cat 5, but they made it, because you're going to cross one over. So it was like a crossover cable. And so I learned how to make crossover cables in communications in the Air Force. And I was making shit tons of money, making like 50-foot cables for people so they could run shit through their house. System Link. And then that carried on in the Xbox and all that stuff. So. But yeah, the Dreamcast was a super unique and it even the consoles itself have got a lot of deep mysteries about them. Like you can dig into a lot of stuff on that one.
I remember the controller was a brick, basically.
Yeah.
It was
had something to plug into it. And
Yeah, it had a little separate screen that you put in the controller, and then the parts of the game were displayed on your controller and on the screen.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like Sega really went for it on that one, but that was kind of their ET game. It kind of sunk their boat. They quit making consoles after that.
Last ditch effort right there.
It was a good system, but.
Well, the PlayStation started off, it was going to be the Nintendo CD because Sega had come out with Sega CD and it was taken off. So Nintendo wanted the CD. And if you look on the bottom of your Super Nintendo, there's a little port that was where you were going to attach what became the PlayStation, but it was going to be the Nintendo CD. Well, Nintendo backed out of the deal and Sony was like, fuck it, we've already built these things. And they just rebranded it as the PlayStation and
boom,
took over. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that was the cool thing about the old Nintendo systems because you did have that port on the bottom. You had that like the N64 had that. The Super Nintendo had that. The GameCube had that.
Yeah.
They were going to build this on. You can add to it, and they never did.
Well, there was two big jumps after the PlayStation and kind of before the Dreamcast, but you had the Atari Jaguar system. That was Atari's last ditch effort.
I remember hearing about that one. Yeah. Yep.
I love the Jaguar, but the controller was literally this big, and you had different cards that you would have to put into the controller. Because it had like 18 buttons, so you could control everything in the game, but it was just like a little overlay for the buttons. And then you had, of course, the Nintendo 64, which was probably one of the greatest consoles that
I love the 64.
Ever came out.
So good.
Yeah. And we were talking about you were talking about Clockwork Knights. I thought you were talking about Knights, which was a Sega Saturn game. Knights, remember, it had out its own special controller that came out with it.
Yeah.
That was an awesome game. That was one that got my kids in the Sega Saturn.
Right.
We went, see, the last one that we console we had at that time was the Saturn, and by then, you know, I was old enough. I started gaming, doing online. I had the tank simulation game because we lived not that far outside of Fort Knox, and we were like obsessed with tanks.
Yeah.
You know, we would go to TigerCom, which was where the Marines come in and did their tank training and opened it up to the public. So we would go and watch the Marines train and do that stuff. And then, of course, you know, what we do? We go get on the computer and do the simulations and pop off the tanks that we were just watching, and you know, that kind of stuff. So we went from there to computer gaming.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where we went crazy because the internet was just starting and dial up and everything. And, you know, of course, everybody remembers the dial up dial tones. And
Oh, yeah.
all that.
Still in
And
my head.
a lot of us can remember why we spent the money and got that, and it was for Doom, so you could play Doom online.
Yeah.
Everybody went and got America Online so they could play Doom.
Yeah, you'd go and get new AOL free CDs just to be able to get online again. Yeah.
You'd save them up.
Those were my frisbees off the mountains.
Oh, did you?
IDTQD, IDKFA, IDSP, ISPOPD, so I could walk through walls. Fuck yes, I did.
God, dude.
No, that is not true because I played
Mhm.
and then you wouldn't let me know the codes until after I beat the game.
Well, you gotta be legitimate.
Nope.
Because you're just wasting time if you can't die. And then they
When we talk about codes,
changed
who
that.
remembers the code for Contra?
Yeah.
They made it into aliens. Watch that corners, and aliens would come out.
That was awesome.
It was
That was an awesome game though. Because you could get the compactor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem.
Damn, I'm looking good.
Duke Nukem 3D, man.
Yeah,
That was like-
shake it, baby.
Then you can get all the mods for Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time as a kid giving pixelated strippers tips
Duke
for
Nukem.
them to show me booby tassels.
That's yeah. And they would swing them, but yeah. And, the other PC game, early PC game that I really got hooked on was Mech Warrior. I got really into BattleTech and Mech
I
Warrior.
love Mech Warrior. I want Mech Warrior now for my.
They have it right now.
I know it. I just got my new, but see now I just got this Windows 11 now,
Yeah.
and I'm not quite sure if the games will be compatible with my server.
It should be. I have
I'm
Windows
pretty sure
11
that
right
Mech
there on this
Warrior-
laptop. It should be fine.
I think Microsoft actually owns the right to Mech Warrior, so I bet it'll translate right over.
I always had the wolf. The wolf.
Timberwolf.
The Timberwolf, yeah.
What about the it wasn't Flight Simulator, but the other one where you're flying like the F-15s and that kind of shit?
Ace Combat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Ace
still
Combat
around.
was good. But then you had Wing Commander.
Wing Commander.
Wing
Oh
Commander
my
and
God.
Privateer.
Yeah.
Privateer was an awesome game.
Mhm.
It was Wing Commander, Privateer.
We're talking about computer games now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've moved up to well,
Well,
it was
I remember
Doom.
my first computer game.
yeah. Our early computer games were kind of the next evolution before the really good consoles come
Right.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember Dune, where you had to go harvest spice and worm would come get you, and you can choose the Harkonnens or the Atreides
Or the Ordo.
or the Ordos, and you could choose it. And then
It was
that-
Command and Conquer
it-
before Command and Conquer.
right, and I liked Command and Conquer too, all versions.
Red Alert was the best.
Red
I didn't play a lot of computer games.
Oh well,
See, I went from computer games to marrying him with a PlayStation 2.
right.
And when we first got married, it was just like, at first it's like, you know, he had the GameCube. We had just come home from Iraq the first time, so he had the GameCube, and you had the
PS2 and had a
PS2.
Didn't have an Xbox.
And it was just like, you know, he'd pull out the GameCube, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Mhm.
You know, until he brought out,
Insanity's Requiem.
yeah,
What?
That game would fuck you up.
yeah,
What game?
Like, Insanity. You play different characters each level, but you get a. I'm trying to remember. You get a book. You find a book, and you start seeing monsters,
mhm.
and it slowly drives you crazy. And it's the graphics are horrible compared to today, obviously, but it's a great game. I mean, there's a level where it actually shows you cockroaches crawling on the inside of the screen, and you literally go, and then there's the part where the screen goes blue, and it has the error messages, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck?
No.
So funny. I love it.
But
we had that one, and
that game was great.
and the Burnout.
Burnout was fun. You
Here
did good on Burnout.
we are, a newly married couple, and you know, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then the next thing you know, here I am in the floor playing Burnout, trying to crash the most cars.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh
I
yeah.
should have named that Batman. No.
Or Travis,
Let
right?
it go, Jimmy. Let it go.
So Twisted talks about Diablo. Like Blizzard has a lot of games. Diablo 2, and Diablo 3. I have spent countless hours in those games. And then World of Warcraft, that's a whole other.
Yep.
World of Warcraft.
That's a whole other stream.
I actually had to quit because I was dreaming World of Warcraft, thinking about this game, and I said, "Oh my goodness!"
Back
I
when I
got a
was
couple
still
minutes.
in the
I can go.
My-
Kill some.
I can go farm some gold.
Yeah.
I think that game actually did a lot of harm to people's lives. Like, they got so hooked on that other world. You know?
Well, I got banned from that game. Not like in the game.
I was single in the barracks. My roommate, I forget what game it was, but it was one of those World of Warcraft, Dungeons and Dragons type games. He would get off of work at, say, 3 o'clock on Friday. He would sit in front of the computer until it was time to go to work on Monday. He had bottles of piss because he wouldn't leave. I'm like, bro.
Hey, there's a South Park episode on where everybody was stuck on World of
That
Warcraft.
is the greatest episode.
That's my favorite. And it just shows that one guy.
I'm not an Artard, you're an Artard.
I love that episode.
The sword of 1,000 truths. No noob has ever held the sword of 1,000 truths.
There's a lot of games that I played that I played online with other people. Command and Conquer was one of them that I was playing with a person online, and his strategy was just make a bunch of people, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots, and they come swarm you. And you may have had these lightning towers, these Tesla towers, shocking them, or lasers or something like that. But his little rifle people go, you know, a lot of them would kill, but he can make them fast. And that was his strategy until one day I figured out how to do it. My base can make invisible tanks.
You just run them over.
And so I lined all these invisible tanks in a line. And as soon as I saw his men coming over, I said, "Tanks, move forward." And he never saw them. And all of a sudden, just red splot. He goes, "Oh no!"
People got so into StarCraft. There's still StarCraft leagues out there.
Oh yeah, that's the same thing. I like StarCraft too.
But I am banned, not from Blizzard. I am banned from World of Warcraft. My wife banned me from that game.
Oh no.
We're married. I think we're married for like 2 or 3 years at the time. and I would, and we were still like going on date nights and stuff like that, or you know, and she would be like, "Hey, you want to come to the bedroom?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I got a raid."
And
Uh,
I got to meet people.
And then where I officially got to where I was not allowed to play anymore, I, again, a completionist and competitive, I spent a shit ton of money buying fake money for a game to get items. And that's where it was like, nope, you're done.
Yep.
Like, why is there all of a sudden a $200 charge to our bank account? And again, this is when I'm like in E3, E4 married. So I didn't have
you ain't getting no money.
yeah. So yeah, eventually she was like, yeah, you can't play anymore. And I was like, that's probably a good thing.
You're like, I agree.
Did I get married in game? No, I did not. No, I did not.
It came close.
See, we got lucky because he got me into gaming, and that kept me from wanting to kill him.
Yeah.
So Groovy is a cuck. I'm not a cuck.
God,
What's a cuck?
get right back on on.
Yeah, you should go shave real quick there, Chadio.
Yeah, I'll go grab that. Let me turn the light on too. I'll grab my shaver.
What's that? Can.
Yeah, but no, but PC. But then we get into like the Xbox and like the PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, and the Xbox 360, Xbox One, and what I currently have, I have an Alienware computer, I have an Xbox Series X. Devin has a Switch, and we have Wii's, and we have all this stuff. And now it's just I see the games nowadays. They look so good, but then you have games that I was waiting on forever, like Cyberpunk 2077. And I pre-ordered that thing as soon as they announced it. And I'm telling you right now, that is the last time I pre-ordered a game besides Evil Dead. I did pre-order Evil Dead because I got the Ultimate Collector's Edition.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I got it. Pre-ordered. But yeah, ever since Cyberpunk 2077, I do not pre-order games anymore. I actually want to see how the game is before I actually buy it, because that was the biggest letdown. And I bought the collector's edition of
You're
that.
right.
I spent $250 on that game, and then I beat it in 2 days. I'm like, this is the worst fucking game they've ever put out.
It was garbage. Yeah, I had a lot of friends who did the same thing. Like, fuck me. I'm like,
Skyrim was awesome. Any of the Elder Scrolls games are awesome, and we're probably not going to see.
I remember the original Elder Scrolls on Xbox.
We're not going to see Elder Scrolls 6 for like another 2 or 3 years. And they announced
Like
it
Grand
like
Theft Auto.
4 years ago.
Grand Theft Auto. That's horrible for kids now. That's just
Come on, pops.
without getting in trouble. God.
What are you talking about? All this hookers and blow?
Yeah.
The motorcycle racing, you had like the pipes and the chains and stuff.
Yeah.
I miss Road Rash. We get like a rat bike. You start out and then you start getting like all the way up to like Hayabusas and stuff. Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Speed
Oh
Hot Pursuit,
man.
the original one on PlayStation was the shit. And you type in El Nino and you'd have the super car.
Yep.
Right off the bat. Cops still fucking
I think it was Need for Speed 2. It was always the big crate.
Driver, where you had the missions.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
And then, of course,
This is
Twisted
gonna hurt.
I hate Twisted Metal.
Well, Twisted Metal was the shit.
Because
Oh.
anytime somebody played and I was playing, and then somebody was playing Sugar Tooth or Sweet Tooth or whatever,
Yeah, sweet too.
fuck that ice cream truck with the clown head.
Yeah.
You're cheating
Oh, it's
on
always
you're
Sweet
shooting
Tooth,
missiles
yeah.
at the last
Always
second. You're
Sweet
like,
Tooth.
oh, I got you, and all of a sudden you're blown up by missiles you didn't even see them launch. This is
Yep.
bullshit.
Well, there was cheat codes. You could put if you did the.
Oh, look who's cheating! Look who's cheating now.
No, I'm saying they existed. I never used them. But you could hit the combination button just right and shoot a heat-seeking missile, and
It's bullshit.
You stood no chance.
Nobody else had heat-seeking missiles. You just had to be in the slowest fucking vehicle ever to play as Sweet Tooth, and it was just boring. And you die a lot, but if you had that heat-seeking missile, you would end up winning the match, and it pissed me off.
We got so good at Twisted Metal 2, we would take like the F1 car, all the weakest cars, and we would just annihilate that whole game because we played it so much. And yeah, we did. We used every one of those. You could heat seek missiles, you could shoot the fireballs, heat seek, all that stuff.
Bunch of cheaters.
Well, if you're talking about the modern stuff, how many of y'all accidentally flung the Nintendo Wii controller at the TV?
No.
Well, that's why you get the strap.
That's why.
Yeah, one went straight hit my sister's ceiling once by accident. We were playing Reborn, and I was just like, whoop. I was like, uh-oh.
They give you special instructions to do the lanyard.
Yeah.
If you don't do the lanyard, that's your fault.
She can't be a
When you've
remote
got it
control
on your
lanyard. That was
wrist.
her fault.
When you've got it on your wrist and you're flinging it forward, then it just kind of slides off your wrist.
We put the tight-
And at that point, it's like, you know. So
And I hope
But
his
yeah.
plate of ribs isn't sitting in front of him.
Are you getting hair all over your ribs now? He's on mute.
And I'm on mute because they'd be like in their ears. No, the ribs are gone. I finished them while we were.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I finished the ribs. I had a couple hot dogs. Had a hamburger on there. I had a chicken wing. Oh, it was good.
Oh man.
I had the hillbilly Philly today
That was good.
sandwich.
Not gonna lie, I got a little hillbilly Philly bubble gut going on today.
So it's like a Philly cheesesteak, but instead of the regular beef, it's brisket. And instead of provolone cheese, it's got queso
Oh,
on a brioche bun. And it is so good. It's so messy. You need like 50 napkins.
Yeah. I added the horseradish sauce to mine, and it made it special good.
I put it on mine too. I think that was my mistake. And the chili. I had that spicy chili.
It was 102 degrees outside. This motherfucker orders a bowl of chili, and we're sitting outside.
well, that's the time to order it, though.
Yeah.
It's like eating ice cream in a blizzard.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I think.
Yeah, you eat ice cream is when it's cold out. You're like, well, I'm already cold. Might as well eat it. Eat chili when you're already hot. You're like, yeah, it's great. Why not?
No, I was miserable by the end. I'm like, dude, we need to wrap this shit up. It is hot, and I'm tired. And that's why I felt bad when we went to Eileen's house. I met Eileen. We were so exhausted because we were just so hot.
Yeah. It may be a little tired from last night. Maybe a little.
Maybe.
They'll be glad when I go home. Then he'll get to sleep.
Well, yeah, because like you have to go to the airport at like 6 in the morning.
But you don't have to go to work that day.
I don't have to go to work at all. I don't got a job. But now, last question. Favorite game of all time? Across all systems. What game, if you had to pick one game to play for the rest of your life, you couldn't play any more games.
Okay.
What game would you pick?
that's hard.
Mine would be, and we talked about it when I first showed up here, mine would be Rock Band. Too many good memories with Rock Band. That was like the best thing. Guitar Hero was cool. But Rock Band, putting it all together, actually singing, playing drums, playing guitar, and then they introduced the bass and all that, like Rock Band. That just a magical time. I wish you could bring that back, but nobody has a 360 with a memory card on it anymore. So
I have Rock Band.
you do have Rock Band. I had probably $1,200 worth of songs I downloaded for Rock Band.
Damn.
Dad.
We talked about this already, but even though I had to get rid of it, I always thought World of Warcraft was the greatest game because that was so involved, and you could have another life. If I could download myself and be an orc, but Travis would get on, and I say, let's go do this. He goes over there, and he's always this warrior, and he kills everything before I even get there. So
I Leroy Jenkins.
yeah,
that shit.
he just so Travis, leave something for me to kill so I can get some stuff.
It's not my fault you picked a hunter.
Well,
Okay.
I picked different ones. I had
If you pick a hunter and you want to stay in the shadows and come out and shoot or send a tiger after it, it's already going to be dead by the time that happens.
But you were supposed to be my partner, but you kept running. It's just
Did
Diablo.
you get XP?
Wait a minute, Diablo. He'd sit there and he'd kill all the monsters. I says, "Okay, I'm just going to follow you around. You just kill them all. We're going to go to the next level. You just kill them all."
You're welcome.
Papa Squirrel, he still does that. Don't worry, he still does that shit.
No,
I know. No, he always does. He says, "I don't care if you are having fun or not. You just follow me, and I'll play the game, and you can follow and watch."
We're not here for fun, damn it.
So I got to where, okay, I ain't playing with you no more.
That's not how that happened. But let me tell you, there's a point of having fun. Stop it. I have fun with games, but when there is a competitive aspect to it, Cindy, if it is a game where you're playing as 4 people and you need to stay together as a team, but you have one person that's just randomly doing their own stuff, and then they get mad and they're like, where are you going? Why are you not with the team? Because it's going to kill the rest of us because we have to waste the time to go back and resurrect you. That's when I get kind of frustrated.
Like a little, you got a little,
just a little. But
say, damn it, Jimmy, damn it, Cindy, where y'all at? What are you doing?
they're like, where are you at? I'm like, look at the
Cindy.
map. I'm right there.
Cindy,
The only thing is, though,
what a
the
car
only
track.
thing is, though, this fool is driving up a tree, so he does not have room to talk. He takes the
One
car
time.
and drives up a tree.
One time.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
up a
keep bringing up
tree
the one
or
tree I
over on
ran
the
into
side off
when
the-
I've
off the
saved your
rock.
ass so many fucking times. You're like, well, there's one time I saw you die. Yeah, you did.
It's one time.
I have fun when we play the game and we win.
This is why I will never play Call of Duty with you.
Oh yeah, because if you get more kills than him, he's like, I'm going. I gotta go.
I never did that.
Oh yes, you did. I have twice that I had more kills than you.
Twice out of how many times?
I
Exactly. 4.
don't know, but I have
Wow.
them. I have them on my screenshot where
And
you
that's
had
like a
0
bitch.
kills.
That shit. She screenshotted shit, so you know she does it to dig at me.
It's hard when you have a bad Call of Duty day. It's hard not to have.
You know, you look back at decisions you made in the past. Maybe that Nintendo was not the game to get Travis into these gamings because he's a monster.
Should have got him a wood burning kit or something.
Knights of the Old Republic was the best RPG, single player RPG game ever.
Never got into it. Being such a huge Star Wars fan, I never got into that game.
Oh, what was that one with the space one and the cat people? There was a video game where
Star Fox?
the Killer Rocky,
Wing Commander.
Wing Commander. Oh, I love that game too. Had to get missions. I forgot about that one.
Now we talked about the Elite Dangerous. If you really like building your own thing, a truly open universe, and you have to find ways to make money on that game. If you liked Wing Commander, Elite Dangerous is like probably the best space faring game of all.
I need to find it. I just got my new laptop. I'm ready to
Excuse
load
me.
on something, so I got something to play when I
Steam.
go out of town.
Download Steam. Elite
You don't have
Dangerous.
Steam?
I've already bought it. I just haven't. We've never played it.
Yeah, we got to hook up on that.
And we got to get back into Phasmophobia.
F that game. F that game. Nope. I
That
wouldn't wanna
game
play
is
that.
hilarious.
It is
You
fun.
learn not
Especially-
to play games like Among Us with Jimmy.
Among Us was. I miss Among Us. I play Among Us with the guys all the time.
I don't like Among Us. One, I don't like to lie.
I love lying.
I'm terrible at lying, but I'm terrible at like not trying not to lie. So I was always like sus. I was knocked out.
Right.
Even though
I'll get like emotional. I'll be like, God damn it! You know Travis was in the engineering room.
Yeah.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't.
Jimmy will be. He will be like, "Yeah, it was me. I killed him." I'm like,
That's not how you play the game. But at that point, he's already like, we've already gone through like 4 rounds. He's like, I'm tired of playing this game.
Yeah. Well, I'm the imposter like every time, so I just walk up to the first person I see.
Playing with my old gaming group. I was always an imposter, and just after a while, I was like, "Fuck!"
It's nerve-wracking being the
I
imposter.
don't want to go around pretending to do these jobs. I want to actually do them.
Oh shit, Katie's here. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie.
I think she called us nerds.
Oh, we are nerds.
What up, Nerdette? God, I don't know my favorite game. I don't think I have one. Like, as soon as you asked that question, I'm like, I knew it was coming up. I've been thinking all day. Like,
It's like Halo and Halo 2. And we spent so much time playing those games, especially with the kids. And the new Halo, what's it called? Reach? Infinite came out. I went back. I've played it. It's pretty cool, but I just can't get into it like I did the first time. I hate the way it moves.
it's lost the nostalgia of it.
Well, and 2, it's the
Yeah.
you gotta get that down.
How did that go again?
See?
See, he's got that down packed.
Yeah.
We forgot. We talked about Doom, but we never talked about Wolfenstein 3D. Which was,
Oh, that would make you nauseous watching the walls go by. My stomach would. Oh,
Wolfenstein, man. The first time, like, it was the precursor to the Cyber Demon, but the Nazi with the big Gatling gun, you would hear his footsteps. Oh my god! Yeah. Yeah, Wolfenstein was cool.
see, if we're talking of all time, it probably would be. This is horrible to say, but Assassin's Creed.
Which one?
Which one is it?
Well, as much as I love the random sex and boobs and those kind of things in Valhalla, it's probably going to be what's the other one that I'm playing right now? Origin.
The Egyptian one?
Yeah. That probably would be my favorite. And I swear to God, if he says God of War, I'm going to divorce him. Because that whole first round, I got to the point if I said, if you don't mute that shit, because if I hear I am the God of War one more time.
Hey, boy. Come here, boy.
that was the God of War. Remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like God of War.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
the only
there's a
reason
lot of games we played.
That's the only reason I had a PlayStation at any time was God of War. But, sorry, I'm eating jerky.
And you're going to be feeling it. You're going to poop. You're going to have Bernie.
If I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Batman Arkham City. That was a good one.
How many times have you leveled or 100%ed that one?
I can't got that high.
I would have to agree with Cindy, Assassin's Creed, and I think my favorite Assassin's Creed is number 3, Assassin's Creed 3, where you're the Indian, against the British during the.
That's what the people.
That's the best story. That's the best story.
Not the pirate one.
No,
Black
Black Flag was. I think it was the funnest game to play because the other mechanics. It was the worst Assassin's Creed story because he wasn't even a fucking assassin. He was just pretending to be an assassin.
No, I tell you, my favorite Assassin's Creed is Rogue.
Rogue, as you're playing as the Templar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really different story, and
I don't think I've played that one yet.
Oh, we lost you.
Oh no, it's okay.
that was the last one for 360.
Now I've seen a lot of people talking about Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption.
I think Red Dead Redemption. I do like the new one. I like Red Dead Redemption 2, but the original Red Dead Redemption, that was a game where I had the feels.
Yeah.
That last scene, after you have gotten to know, spoiler alert to everybody, after you have played as John Marston the entire time, and you're like, oh man, he succeeded. He's got his family, he's got his farm, and then the very last scene, you get fucking blasted. And you're sitting there dying, and your son is like there, like, oh, I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh John.
B Knuckle legitimately came to me with tears in her eyes. B Knuckle and Jess playing that. They're like, "Oh God, Dad, we just finished the game." I'm like, "What? What happened?" They couldn't tell me what happened. They were so choked up. Because you got to fight, like you got to fight till you die, and they were holding on so hard.
And they don't stop. There's no alternate ending. You die, and you can sit there. You can have this battle with the Pinkertons for like 30 minutes, hour, and the one time you run out of bullets or you die, they're like, "Oh, welcome to the next cutscene." You're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, you're dead.
Because I even tried. I tried to go and be like, "There's got to be another ending." Like you had to. There's not.
Yeah, video games that give you the feels and make you cry. That definitely the ending to Red Dead Redemption, the first one. It does hit you right in the damn stomach.
But I didn't have the same connection in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, the 2 turned into more of just an online open world kind of game. So.
Yeah. Okay, Channy's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I pull out my earbuds and put it back in my head, and it just loses connectivity and goes like haywire.
BioShock is free. Well, it's not free. I have Xbox Plus, whatever.
Game Pass.
Game Pass. So it's those are actually hard games.
Yeah, yeah, and they're freaky,
paranormal, weird.
Well, it's like the Valve games, the Left 4 Dead, the Half-Life, and all that.
Fear.
They just will not make a third version of any of those games.
No.
We've been waiting on Half-Life 3 for like 20 years now. I think it's about 20 years.
But they are doing a remaster of Dead Space, which I am super excited for. I love Dead Space.
That's Jess's jam. She loves that game.
Yeah.
Did you do the surgery? Was you able to do the surgery on the eyeball?
Yeah. So, have I played any VR games yet? No. We have the VR
Oculus,
thing. That's mostly Devin's thing. We got it for her. The Odyssey is the Odyssey? Or no? We got it for Christmas. I played it like 3 times. I played the Darth Vader so I could like have a lightsaber stuff.
Yeah.
It just.
I was at my daughter's house, and she said, "Try this VR," and we're playing Skyrim or something. And there's some good-looking girls in that Skyrim, and I'm walking around. They say, "Dad, quit looking at them," because they're watching on TV everything I'm doing.
It's so good. I love it.
Turn the TV.
I did hear if you're home alone, you could actually connect to the internet and have some fun with those VR headsets. I've heard.
Leave me be.
I've heard too. I don't have VR, but I've heard.
I've not tried it yet because I'm afraid that like my daughter's gonna pull up and it's gonna like have a history or something on there. So I'm like, I don't want to try it.
Thing too, like if you get the VR headset going on, you don't know what's going on around you. There could be like 10 people standing behind you laughing at you,
and you're just like,
get it, boy.
He looks like that down there.
Your friends will all be standing behind you and take the headset off. They'll be like, "Yeah!"
Everybody's like, "Yay!" Applaud. That'd be horrible.
We lose daylight quick.
All right. So, anything else that we have video game wise? Anything honorable mentions that we forgot that y'all want to bring up? What y'all got? Quite frankly, I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Honorable mentions for me personally, Sims. Starting out back in, remember when the new like, oh my god, the add-on came out. I have to go to Circuit City and get the add-on
later because you know you're just going to murder them.
That's the thing. It was like Sim City. And I never really cared about building the city because I was just going to do natural disasters and like
about the Sims
earthquakes just to kill everything.
The Sims were the person and you can interact and stuff. I played it on What was the funniest thing? Like I have it on PC and I played it once and did a live stream of it. My neighbor got pissed at me. He kicked over my trash can. I was like, okay, this is too real. I'm done. I'm like, no way. Kicked over the trash can. I was like,
There was a Sim Ant. Yeah. You were the black ant or the red ant. And you had to go.
Star Fox. Yeah, Star Fox was fun back on N64, I think. Yeah.
That came out at the same time as the Super Scope 6. Did you ever have a Super Scope?
I did.
I didn't have a Super Scope. Jeremy
Looked like a bazooka.
Strunkowski, my friend across the street, he had a Super Scope, and we would sit there with a big bazooka playing. It was just a light gun. That was it.
It was Duck Hunter all over again.
Duck Hunt was so much. Oh, that was my jam as a kid. I loved it because Travis, right? You just take it right up to the screen, and just like boop boop boop.
That's cheating.
You can't do that with new TVs though. It wouldn't work.
Well, no.
No.
All right, Cindy. Any honorable mentions, Mike?
I can't think of any. Cindy?
Nintendo DS. Michael and I drove an hour to get 2 of them, to get Herbs, the Urban Sims.
Yeah.
And we drove. We were already spending Christmas with family, but we drove an hour to get 2 of them when they came out. I remember that.
Yeah.
Herbs is like the Sims, but it's like an urban version of the Sims.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An urban version? What the fuck is an urban version?
It's
Inner city.
They were the inner city. You lived in rundown buildings, and you had to improve your building and
so
everything.
you were a poverty pimp. Cool. All right.
I remember Herbs. That's so funny. You brought that up. I totally forgot until you said it.
It was funny because we were sitting there with our little DSs, tap 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 tap, and I would get so mad because I didn't get to the bathroom fast enough and I would pee in the game. And my uncle was sitting there laughing at me going, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I just peed all over myself." So Lou looked at me like, "What?" I'm like, "It's in the game. It's in the game."
That's funny.
Yeah, all the stuff that you
Herbs
thought that you wanted to do in the Sims, you could do in the Herbs. It was kind of a twisted version of the Sims.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yep.
So my only other honorable mention I will have is an arcade game, which I always loved, and I know that One Up Arcade has actually released it, and it is the Simpsons game, the 4-player Simpsons game.
Yes.
Where you could be Bart, you play Marge, Homer, or Lisa, and it was just Double Dragon, but with the Simpsons, and I've always loved that game. So yes, I'm definitely looking at that's going to be my next purchase. Is the One Up Arcade and add it to the Man Cave, which
hell yeah,
Man Cave is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is sweet. It's impressive, scarily impressive. I'm like, what have you been doing like with your whole life? He's got everything.
Nice.
I'm like, holy shit! I thought I had a lot of stuff piled up behind me. No,
if you got people that are, because those people moan a little bit too much up there when you have to go tape their mouth.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's my only honorable mention. Y'all guys got anything?
The only the arcade, when you said arcade game, it brought me back to, and I probably mispronounced it, but I always called it Galaga.
Galaga.
And I've always liked that game. That was when I saw that in arcade or someplace. That's what I'd go play.
Jess, we talked about Dead Space and Red Dead Redemption, and Travis got tore up at the end of Red Dead too. So.
I cried.
Remember the very first time that song kicked in the very first level of Red Dead? You know, that little acoustic guitar, that ding 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 ding. Oh man.
Red Dead Revolver.
The first Red Dead or Redemption?
Yeah. No, Red Dead Revolver.
Revolver? Oh, yeah. That was such a fun game on Xbox. Holy crap.
There was a arcade game in the 90s called Starblade. I think it cost like $1 to play it. It was more of a ride than a game. It was a shooter. You had this giant console you would sit in. and it would it would guide you through the level, but you were shooting the spaceship thing. It was one of the first really good 3D simulators.
We had I like Time Crisis also
Oh,
in
yeah.
arcade where you had to step on the pedal.
Yeah.
You're like, and that gun was awesome because when it would shoot, you could hold it down. The whole thing would, and you'd feel it vibrate in your hand. So you'd, okay, 1, 2, 3, and step on the thing, and it'll pop out of something, and you're shooting. It's awesome.
Oh look, Jess, I fucking love this. And yeah, they never could get me to play Red Dead Redemption because I was like, I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. I loved Red Dead Revolver. I couldn't get into Red Dead Redemption for some reason.
But you're not attached to John Marston like we are.
No,
No,
they
Red
came
Dead
to me
Redemption
like they were
2.
choked up, like,
I have it on PC. I love it.
And there was one more. It was the search for Mad Dog's Gold. It was one of those.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah,
The light
you had to like be like click at a certain time, or if you were at an arcade, you had the
I
light
bought
gun.
my Sega CD just to play that. So with the Sega CD and the 32X, you could kind of make some shapes out on the screen, but
Mad
it was
Dog
playable.
McCree.
Yeah, Mad Dog McCree. You had to shoot the dynamite, it blew up. Oh yeah,
Good game.
Dragon's Lair.
I've talked games, videos.
Dragon's Lair. Did you ever play that in the arcade?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes,
50 cents a pop.
yeah.
And then Space Ace, the follow up. Space Ace was Dragon's Lair, but it was in space. And I spent so much money on that game.
I know. That was the money pits there.
Yeah.
I'd steal money from my mom and dad to go play video games.
A $10 roll of quarters and walking into the arcade. Man, that was a good night, man.
Or you go to Pizza Hut and you would purposely choose the arcade game table
Oh,
so
yeah.
you could do that instead of eating the pizza.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember those tabletop ones. Oh my gosh. Yeah, pizza place up the road from me has like an old tabletop game that you can use as a table and stuff. I'm like, man,
I
I
played
gotta
a
do
lot
that
of
someday.
Galaga on those tabletop games.
That's a good question, Mike. What are we talking about next week on Nerd Talk?
That is, yeah. I was wondering.
That is a good question. Nerd Talk. What have we done so far? I mean, you just got to dig back in the history on Nerd Talk. Did we do cartoons yet?
No.
We talked about commercials.
Commercials, yeah.
We talked about commercials like some commercials like that will stick in your head forever, like the Crocodile Mile for me.
Yeah.
You run, you slide, you hit the bump and take a dive. Yeah, this Crocodile Mile, man. I love Crocodile Mile commercial.
Yep.
But we can go with like vintage cartoon / commercials.
Okay. You want to combine them? Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, it's just
You could say like
childhood shit.
television, childhood television.
Oh, childhood and memories. Yeah, I like it.
Ooh.
We didn't have a TV when I was a child.
That one.
It wasn't invented.
No, you basically had like a stone and
I
chisel.
used to listen to the radio
Yeah.
programs, and I would have to imagine pictures in my head.
I remember when that War of the Worlds.
Yeah. Papa Squirrel grew up with Little Orphan Annie.
So, next Friday, not Saturday, next Friday,
Perfect.
Nerd Talk, 7 p.m.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about childhood TV. And this is where we can get a wide variety,
Oh, yeah.
all different ages, especially with all these old people around.
Oh. If you two boys don't smack him upside the back of his head, please.
You should
I
have
mean,
been outside with us last night.
There you go,
Yeah.
Papa Squirrel.
It's a good night.
All this talking about old people.
Hey, I'm retired now, so I'm old.
I did
Ooh.
not have a color television until I was about 13 years old.
That's racist.
I did not.
Hey, Jimmy, do you remember the thing that added onto the TV screen that had the strip of blue at the top and the green at the bottom to make
No.
it color?
Right.
No, I never saw that.
Oh,
All right.
That's
Oh
funny.
man, I
Hey,
remember
kitty.
All right. Save it.
Our
Save it for
TV,
next- Yeah.
our TV would disconnect from the antenna outside with a clothespin clamp,
Yeah.
so lightning wouldn't blow up our TV.
Yep. Well, I mean, you had a 30-foot lightning rod connected straight to your house.
Yeah.
Man, clip that. You clip it. it's
Galvanized steel. What could go wrong? Let's put a 30-foot one of those out there.
what are
Okay.
you talking about? That's when the TV went out and your dad would go out and climb the tower in the middle of the storm. And
No, when the cable went out,
Okay.
Cable.
when TV went out,
Yeah.
that's when you changed input and started playing Nintendo.
Cable TV.
Yeah, take it to channel 3. Let's go.
We didn't have cable either.
Well, it's a different cable.
We had 7 channels.
Seven, 3.
Yeah, it's not my
Oh,
fault that
ABC,
they had not.
NBC.
ABC and CBS. Yep.
We are getting sidetracked. This is
Yep.
for next week's.
Yeah.
But everybody, we have been going for almost 2 hours, and we're
Mhm.
all tired. It's been a long
Yep.
weekend, and Jimmy has to drive back tomorrow. So
Ah, dang it, buddy.
All the way
Awesome
back.
seeing you over the last few
Yeah.
days for sure. Hell yeah.
It's been awesome, and appreciate Travis says that he's bought us all kinds of food. He's treated us wonderfully, and this has been a great trip. I wish I had a couple more days. Got to meet all of his army buddies today. It's super good. We got to meet Eileen. This has been a fun trip. I just wish I had a little bit more time, just like when we went to Nashville. About a day and a half, just enough to make you want to come back. So
but don't worry, next time I'm heading up to his place. And I'm not
October,
staying
baby.
there for a day and a half. I'm staying there for at least 7 days.
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
3
only
months.
going to be there a day and a half because I'm like,
Marcinelli's your problem now. Bye.
Marcel. I'm just gonna make Marcel cook for me all the time. Be like, Marcel, cook me some authentic food. All right. But with that, everybody, thank you for coming up. Cindy, Chadio, thank y'all for being here. I want to thank these guys. They've done awesome. Jess, McNeil Entertainment, Mike Carrier, Axe Nacho, Lori, and everybody else that came in. We want to thank you all for showing up, and we will see y'all next Friday, 7 p.m. Nerd Talk, Childhood Television, and we will see y'all in the next one. Everybody, have a good night.
Good night.
Mhm.